Today we're going to do a video on T-Flex. It's a heavy-duty flexible dryer duct. This pack comes in 8 feet. It's stronger, safer, and simpler. Well, I'm not so sure about the simpler part. I think it's just about the same as any other flexible duct that you can get. But the most important part here is just safer, and that's because this is flame resistant. And a lot of these ducts, I've seen many videos where they're actually can catch on fire pretty easy. I've seen a video of a guy do that one time. So I think it's, you know, pretty important to make sure you're as safe as possible, and this here is supposed to be flame resistant. I'm going to go ahead and install some today and kind of show you how it's done. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is when you pull it out a little bit, you're going to want to go ahead and unplug it from the wall. Use 2 hands here. I like to actually hold the plug back here. Just make sure you don't touch anything, those prongs that are sticking in there, with your fingers. Hold it up against the wall and just pull it out. Then you can see how there is that hose. There's a good amount of hose there where it'll stretch out, so you can pull your dryer out to get in behind it. Now the next step is disconnecting it, and that one came right off. Then I'm going to come over here and do the same thing on this side. Disconnect this one. Alright, now the next step is you're going to grab the T-Flex and you're going to pull it out at the end. Pull it out so it's nice and straight going around it, and then you're going to take it and get it on the pipe. And I find it best to kind of turn a little bit while you get it on there. But yeah, so you kind of turn it and get it pushed up on there good. Then you're going to take your clamp. So I'm going to take this end over here and just slide it over. Get it all the way up here. Get it close up in there towards the end. Make sure it's covering everything. And just tighten it on up. Now I'm going to pull on it a little bit, and it's on there nice and good. So the next step, I got the dryer with just enough room here where I can fit through. So now I'm going to take the pipe and I'm going to pull it, extend it out, and get it over here to this hole. Okay, so you can see this is where it's still together, and I pulled it apart from this end, and I'm getting close over to the hole here. And if you want to, you could just take from right here, where you've got it pulled out the most, from here, measure from here to here with a tape measure if you want to, and from here go ahead and grab it, pull that much out, which was, it's probably really close to around in here somewhere. I think it's going to be just fine. If there's a little bit extra, it's okay. So I'm going to just poke a little hole in there like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pull it apart like this. Then when I get to this end, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a pair of snips. I'm gonna open them up and take and cut the rest of it. Mine are a little bit dull, so if you got a new pair you shouldn't have a problem, but I've always got to get it just right. Just like that. Now put your clamp on. Now one thing I like to do is I like to push it back. Make sure when you get it back here where it's going to be. It's going to be about right here. So I make sure right here where it's at now, I make sure I still want that to be the top. When I pull it back, make sure that's the top. See how I'm holding it here with my fingers. And just make sure it's still going to be the top of this hole. A little difficult with such little room. Okay. Whoops. Pull it out good right on the end of it. Get it nice and pulled out good. Take, connect it. Now I ended up making that a pretty tight fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push the clamp up here towards the end, and I'm going to put some pressure on it so that pipe doesn't come off. Make sure it's up on there good. I'm holding pressure on the top so it doesn't slide off, because it is a good tight fit there where I've cut it. Now I'm going to hold it and tighten up this other clamp. Okay, now that we got it connected, you can see what it looks like. It comes off the wall, turns a little, comes straight to your dryer. Your dryer's sticking out just enough where you can get between it, because you don't want a lot of extra pipe if it's not necessary. It just makes it a little bit harder to get it back and everything. You just want it to be as small and short as possible. So now I'm going to go ahead and push everything back. Now this pipe will, you know, it'll go back together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a handle and help to form it back together. Okay, so I went ahead, while I had it up, I was holding it in my hand, I went ahead and started to plug this in. Gonna finish plugging that in. Then I'm gonna take this broomstick handle and I'm gonna come down here and work this extra over, because I want this to be nice and straight. Now that it's coming out fairly straight, I'm going to push it back a little bit more. And keep on working it over. Okay, you can see that the pipe is not crunched. That is one of the most important things you want to do, is make sure the pipe does not get pushed back too far where it's starting to crunch it and restrict your airflow. I'm going to go ahead and come on back a little further with it. So I was able to come back just a little bit more. And the washer is sticking out a little bit, sticking in a little bit more than the dryer. So I'm just going to pull the washer out a little bit to make them both look uniform. And just turn it on. And test it out. Now out here at the vent cap, I can feel great airflow coming through there. Everything is hooked up and doing good. Okay, that's it. Got it all hooked up. Everything's going good. Good airflow. And I feel a little bit safer now. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll have more in the future. Thanks again and have a great day.